Hey guys, so today's video is going to be another video in my best and worst series, which if you haven't seen one of these videos before, it's basically where I hone in on one of my favourite brands. This time it's YSL, which is really one of my all-time kind of favourite brands. And I talk about my favourite products from the brand and then also my least favourites. Please do bear in mind when I'm talking about these, it's all kind of personal preference. So some of the stuff that works for me doesn't work for other people, and some of the stuff I don't like, other people might love, obviously, with any product. I feel like that's a bit of a useless disclaimer, but you know what I mean. So yeah, today I'm talking about my favourite all-time products from YSL, and then the products that I don't like. And there's some surprises in there for me as well. Even for myself, when I was thinking about this video, I was like, actually, if I'd have told myself I didn't like that product now, 5 years ago, I would have been surprised. Anyway, so starting off with my favourites, I'm going to start off with the iconic Touche Éclat, which is probably one of the most famous kind of beauty products in the world. If you guys have never used one of these and you're into makeup, I would really recommend trying one because they are iconic for a reason. I personally love the Touche Éclat. I think it's brilliant. It is slightly overshadowed by a lot of other products on the market now because highlighting and contouring has become such a big thing. But this has been around for over 25 years, I think. So when it was launched, it was really quite revolutionary, and people use it in different ways. Some people use this as a concealer under their eyes, but it's actually meant as more of a highlighter and brightener. They now do them in different tones. I have to say I prefer the original one. I don't love the colour correcting ones. I do actually quite like the under eye one. I think that's quite good, but in general, the original one for me is the best. And they do a few shades. I think to start off with, they only made this in shade 1, whereas now there are a few different shades for different skin tones. But it is really beautiful in texture. The one thing I would say is a shame is that the applicator is built in, which is good for kind of on the go, but it means that if you don't use it all up, or if you're not using it kind of every day, it can get a bit stinky and kind of unsanitary, and I don't think there's any way of washing it because it's attached. So yeah, there are high street alternatives to this that are good, I have to say. I have been impressed by the Maybelline one, the L'Oreal one. However, this will be a kind of forever favourite in my makeup bag. I think it's really brilliant, and it's a good subtle highlighter, so I definitely think that's worth the hype and the kind of cult status that it has. The other thing that I love so much from YSL are the mascaras. There are definitely some exceptions to this rule, which I'll talk about at the end and the worst bit, but my all-time favourite mascara, this has been my all-time favourite mascara since I was about 15, and it still is. It's brilliant, is the YSL Effet Faux Cils, Faux/Effect. I love this stuff. It's really good for giving you really amazing length, volume, and at the same time giving you that texture of lash that's like really kind of sexy, like that kind of soft, fluttery looking lash, but you can really build up the volume. I also love the shocking version of this, which is a lot more volume. Like if you like really thick lashes, then the shocking one is awesome. I also love the Babydoll one, which it took me some getting used to, this one, I have to say. I didn't like this when it first came out. It's got a rubber brush as opposed to the bristle brush. So it's a little bit more defining. However, it's brilliant, and the brush lets you get into every single last lash. So I would definitely recommend both of these mascaras. But yeah, these are my two favourite YSL mascaras. They are freaking amazing, and you need to try them. And then my other favourites from YSL, the next one is actually a new launch. This is the Touche Éclat All-in-One Glow Foundation. I've been wearing this pretty much every day since I got it, which was probably a month ago. I really love it. I'm wearing it today. It's very light, almost like a tinted moisturiser, but it's buildable. I apply it with a damp beauty blender, as I do most of my foundations. So good. I didn't love the original Touche Éclat foundation. I did really like it. It's not in the worst products for me by any means, but I definitely prefer this one. And I know there's going to be questions about lots of the other foundation, like the All Hours foundation. I do quite like that one, but it's not my favourite. And I also feel the same way about the Youth Liberator one, which actually came out, it's quite old now, but it's really good as well. I like that, but this is my favourite YSL foundation. Another thing I wanted to mention as well, I should have mentioned with the mascaras really, but I didn't have it, so it's kind of slipped my mind and I just looked at my notebook, is the shocking eyeliner from YSL. I am normally not one to say spend a lot of money on your liquid liners, because I think you can get really good, very similar ones on the high street, but the shocking eyeliner, liquid liner felt tip, is amazing. That's also really good. And another thing that I like, another new launch, which actually launched this month, are the Volupte liquid colour balms. I've been wearing these lots. I really like them. They're really nice texture and just really comfortable to wear. The shade range, I actually haven't seen all of the shades. I've only seen 6 of them, so I kind of want to see the others to see if there's any more that I would like, because I do really, really like the texture of those. They are really nice. And then the other lip products that I think are brilliant from YSL, one of them I actually couldn't find, my one, which is really annoying, is the Tatouage, the liquid ink lipstick. Really, really like those. I think I've left mine in a handbag somewhere. But they are brilliant, and there's quite a few of those type of products out at the moment, but I think the YSL ones, I don't know, I can't speak properly today. The YSL ones are probably my favourites. So yeah, I really, really love those. And then I also love the Rouge Pure Couture lipsticks. My favourite one is actually this limited edition, but I don't think the colour is limited edition. It's number 70. You can tell how much, like, it's a bit gross. It has a hair in it. It's a really, really perfect nude. I love YSL lip products, and the scent of the products in general I absolutely adore. It's very nostalgic for me because it was one of the first kind of high-end brands I ever got into. They just smell really kind of fresh and fruity, and I really like them. And those lip products are lovely, and you can also get personalised caps and buy like limited edition caps now on the website, which is a really cool touch. My one has my initials on it, and this one is like a limited edition, I think from Christmas last year. I love those. So that is it for my kind of all-time favourites from YSL. Moving on to my least favourites, and I'm going to start with the lip product that I was talking about at the beginning when I said, if you'd have told me 5 years ago that this was in my worst list, I would have been surprised, because it is the Rouge Volupté lipsticks. I'm actually wearing this one today because I wanted to give it one last final test before I was like, no, actually, the formulation of this lipstick is not that good. If there was a prize for packaging, like of all time lipstick packaging, I think this lipstick would win it. It's the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen. Like, it really is gorgeous. And I think that's what suckered me in. In the early days when I first started doing YouTube, this was like the ultimate lipstick that I wanted. I remember going to buy one and thinking like, oh my God, it's like the best thing ever. But actually the texture of these lipsticks, whilst it feels moisturising, is actually quite drying on my lips. And if I wear this as an everyday lipstick, my lips get really dry. That's my main bugbear with it. It doesn't have great pigmentation. It's more like a balmy lipstick, which, you know, I don't mind. There's a time and a place for all different types of lipstick in terms of like pigmentation. But I just think the texture of this is not for me. And I also think the shine ones as well. I did like them at one point, but I just think for the amount of money that you're paying and how wonderful the packaging is, there really, really should be like, I feel like the Rouge Pure Couture should be in this packaging. Anyway, that's my 2 pennies worth on the Rouge Volupté's. Best packaging, not the best product. And then the other one that I did love as well, that I'd be really surprised at if I could see myself a few years ago saying this, is the Glossy Stains. I loved them when they came out, but again, the more I used them, the more I realised that actually they were drying my lips out. The next day after using them, because they're like quite intense lip products, especially the darker ones, they have the most amazing staying power, but the next day my lips would be so dry. So for that reason, the Glossy Stains are in my like least favourites list. The other thing, I don't actually have any of the other products because I've thrown them away, but the other thing is the Fusion Ink Foundation. For me personally, that texture, I just didn't really get on with. It's a little bit more, and I feel the same about the Armani one that they did that was similar to that. There's like a few other foundations with that very, very liquidy texture. Actually, that's a lie, because a few of them I do like. The Trish McAvoy one I really like. But the YSL one, I liked it to start off with, but that didn't really stand the test of time for me, the Fusion Ink Foundation. And then lastly, on my worst list for YSL is the Shock Mascara, which is not terrible. Don't get me wrong. It's not like the worst mascara in the world, but in comparison to the other YSL mascaras on offer, it's definitely one of their worst offerings for me, because I love their original mascaras so much. The Shock Mascara just really didn't impress me that much. So that is it. Oh no, there's one more actually. The primer. I think it's called the Blur Primer, or the Touche Éclat Blur Primer with the glitter in it. For me, it's actually quite a nice primer, but there's 2 issues I have with it. A, there's no need for the chunky glitter, and you basically can't see it when it's on your skin. It's just for the effect of it in the bottle. And that put me off, actually, as opposed to attracted me to it. And secondly, it feels quite basic to me. So it feels like a basic silicone-based primer that I feel like I could get on the high street for much, much cheaper. So yeah, that primer has always kind of failed to impress me. But in general, most other things from YSL I do love, I have to say. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree on any of the products, like what are your favourite products from YSL, and if there are any other brands that you'd like me to do a video like this for. I've already done Charlotte Tilbury, I've done Benefit, what else have I done? I've done Hourglass, I've done Too Faced. I've done lots and lots of brands already, so if you want to go and check those out, head over to my channel, and there's I think a playlist on there, if I remember rightly. There should be a playlist. I should have done that. There's a playlist on there where you can check out the other kind of brands in this category, and if there's any that are missing, let me know. I know YSL was requested quite a lot, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.